Hi, it's Gabe again. I wanted to come and record a couple of thoughts. This is going to be very difficult for me. It's not something that I am comfortable with, but it's something that I want to be comfortable with. So it's going to take a little bit of practice, so just bear with me. It's been 30 days being on the picket line. We've been asking more than the 40 cents that we were offered as a pay increase. If you think that this is a offer worth considering, it took me a long time to get used to being a front desk associate. Probably by watching this, you wouldn't be able to say so, but when I am out there, I am in helping mode. If you need something, I am there for you. If you need to be checked in, I am there for you. If you need help with finding other payment options, maybe ones that are not on you, I am there to help you. If I have to nag or annoy my managers to make sure that you are able to get into a room, get some rest, prepare for whatever reason you are in Seattle for, I will do that too. If something is late, I will call all the departments and every extension that I can get my hands on to get some information and expedite those requests for you. After all, I am just a front desk associate. I am not a manager. I was a supervisor once briefly for about 9 months. Was one of the worst experiences that I've ever had, and I will most likely not do that again, but then again, never say never. The reason for why I present like this right now, it's because I am autistic and I do have ADHD and I do have trauma that I've been carrying with me for a very long time, something that I've been slowly working my way through on my own, without therapy, without anxiety medication, and I've been basically raw dogging this. But one thing at a time. For now, we are on the picket line every day from 7 a.m. to about 2 p.m. After 2, we're making calls, reaching out to our customers, asking them to consider canceling or moving their events to a later date once we're back from our contract negotiations. And I do have some exhibits to present if you have a second. Essentially, we were offered 40 cents. This whole time I've been saying 50 cents, but it's actually 40 cents. An offer that we could absolutely refuse because it doesn't account for the inflation that we've been going through for the past several years. Partly because of the influx of cash during the pandemic, disrupted economic ways due to the war in Ukraine, and so many more events, with the surge of new technologies and AI and the desire to build unlimited data centers at the expense of us all, whether it's about water or electricity. Life keeps getting expensive. The cost of living keeps going up. And living in Seattle, in one of the most expensive cities in the US, we have to make sure that the raise that we are getting makes sense for all of us, even in times when hours are getting cut due to low travel. Fortunately, in the hotel industry and restaurants and so many more, it happens that in the winter, in some places, people don't travel as much and there isn't as much income, and we are not needed for the full 5 days a week, 40 hours. every time. Last winter, since I was second to lowest in seniority, if it wasn't for my colleagues donating their 8-hour shifts to me, I wouldn't have been able to have a paycheck and be able to afford rent, especially after just moving to Seattle and still recovering from moving costs. There are so many more things that I still don't have. I still don't have a tea mug to drink some tea out of. Even though it's been a challenging year, it's still one of the best years that I've had in the recent past. But it doesn't mean that it cannot get better. Being on the picket line for 30 days has been incredibly taxing on my mental health, and if anyone out there thinks, well, why not just go back? When so many other establishments, just like our own, have been negotiating pay increases and have been able to secure $2-3 additionally per hour, we should be able to do as well. If we were to take, for example, as trivial and silly as it's gonna sound, but there's some truth as its actual palpable data. If you were to take our rating based on over 1,000 reviews on Google Maps, we do have a 4.6 and a 4.8 on TripAdvisor, which, trust me, it's not easy to achieve. It's not. When you take into account that we were told by our management that we are Hilton's crown jewel in the city of Seattle, based on Medallia, based on surveys, based on the feedback that the guests have provided in the aftermath of their stay, it goes to show that what we bring to the table, it's not something that anyone could. And it only stands to reason that we should be able to secure better compensation just like everyone else in the city. It's not okay for us to have been on the longest hotel strike in the city of Seattle to date. And it's not okay for such an established and respected brand like Hilton to just stand by and watch its best hotel professionals, its best employees, as you would see the names of my colleagues and my own name in comments on Google Maps and in the reviews on TripAdvisor. It really shows that we are going above and beyond for our guests. There are so many things that are not in our job description that we don't hesitate, we don't think twice to provide to make the stays of our guests a little bit more special. Whether it's to write a birthday card, to include a couple of chocolates. If you're familiar with Hilton and if you are, let's say, a gold or a diamond member, you know that you get a couple of chocolates, some pretzels, a couple of sodas, a couple of waters. And if you're celebrating something special, whether it's a birthday or if it's your first time in Seattle, we don't mind writing a card and including a couple of those chocolates and use our little robot that we call Milton. Something that I always say, if you do have the opportunity to stay with Embassy Suites at Pioneer Square, is you'll often hear me say that this is Milton, we use him to deliver small items or DoorDash deliveries. All the kids have a gag out of it and some adults get a kick out of it too. And it does help when it does work. Because there are some components that have to work at the same time. The elevators have to work properly, the robot has to work properly, the Wi-Fi connection has to be stable. So all of these things have to converge for a delivery to be complete. Anyway, all I'm trying to say, to not deviate from the main topic too long, is good hospitality workers don't grow on trees. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we all work in a team. There's so many things that we love about our jobs, but there are some things that if we were to get this increase, it would make it all worth it. It's a contract of 2 years that we're counting on, with a $3 increase for the first year and another $3 increase for the second year, and then negotiate a new contract that may include other items, may not include an increase. We'll have to wait and see. But what we do know is that the cost of living has gone up just enough that it has cut into our food budget, and we have to be able to afford rent. Not just afford rent, but afford our own private space, because a lot of us are adults and we want to have our partners over and we want to start families. And for some of us, like myself, I would like to work on my trauma, to work on myself, to not be so scared, to not be so resigned with life. Because when I'm out there, I function somewhat well, but when I do retreat to my own corner at the end of the day, I shut down and I don't communicate, and I don't live life to its fullest or even halfway there. I am already 37 and I feel like I've missed out on life enough, and getting some respect from my employer at the moment would go a long way. For me, for my colleagues that were all on the picket line day in and day out, it would help immensely in a world that has so many dangers lurking at every corner. I wish I could say more, but before I go, I wanted to show you some exhibits, and feel free to pause and I will read a couple of items off this flyer as well. It's something that we've been showing our guests that have been wondering why we're protesting and what we're protesting for. But as I mentioned, for the first 6 months starting June 1st, we were offered 40 cents, then the 6 months offer 60 cents, then 40 cents, 40 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents, 50 cents, 75 cents on June 2030, and then a full dollar in December 2030. When I looked up to see what the response is out there, and I looked up some news pieces that were made about us, I found this piece that was made by Como News, and the response that some members of the audience left was a little bit disheartening and honestly quite crushing, because I thought to myself that we do so much for you as front desk associates, and this is the gratitude that we experience, that we are offered, and it's not okay. And to those that laugh or find it amusing or find it as a reason to ridicule us for asking for better protections against the federal government, against ICE, especially in the context that 3 people were shot in 3 different states, Texas, Maine, and Florida, that there's so much more to be said there, but it's not completely unreasonable to ask for better protections. And when it comes to protections from ICE, it stands to reason to ask to include the ability to stay home without being penalized on days that there are ICE agents staying at the hotel. In an ideal world, we probably wouldn't have them stay there to begin with, but it's not something that we can control. It would be completely unreasonable to even expect that. They would be staying under the government rate, and the government rate is used by all government agencies, and there's a lot. And unless they have a DHS email, we wouldn't be able to say whether they are with ICE, Border Patrol, or any other agency that's in charge of enforcing immigration laws. At the same time, it would be nice if the hotel would notify our employees whether ICE is staying in hotel. And to make one clarification, it wouldn't be about ICE arresting our employees, because to work at my hotel, you have to have a work authorization. You have to have a work permit. Employment verification does take place with every new hire, and it's done annually. And it wouldn't be what's the damn word? Oh my god. It wouldn't be unreasonable, I guess, to expect that room attendants would want to opt out from cleaning the rooms of ICE agents. I'm sure there would be other members of the staff, including supervisors, that would be able to clean those rooms. It's not that those rooms wouldn't be cleaned at all, but it wouldn't be cleaned by someone that's not necessarily comfortable with cleaning those rooms. In addition to better protections against ICE, we're also asking for minimum 8-hour shifts. Unfortunately, hotels, and not just hotels, but restaurants and so many other places expect full flexibility, which means that we are not able to get a second job. Unfortunately, there are no jobs out there, or very few jobs out there, that are willing, that are understanding enough to work around your existing schedule. If you're in school, yeah, absolutely, that's far more likely. But if you have a primary job and you're asking for flexibility from your second job, that wouldn't happen. I do have a friend, my former partner, and a friend of his that are looking for jobs currently, and they're still struggling. So finding a second job for many of us, it's not possible. And I do have colleagues that are working in the food and beverage department that get only 6 hours a day and cannot afford to fix their cars or pay their rent, or do both at the same time. If they have family, it's one thing, but for people like me who don't have a support system, as I am an immigrant, it's tougher for some people out there. And at the same time, there's some of us who don't have enough hours during one calendar year to qualify for health benefits. It's logical to think that there are some conditions that, there are conditions out there that don't take a break when your health insurance lapses. You still have to get your medication, and you still have to go to doctor's appointments. And it's inhumane to expect or to want anything else for your employees. And as I said, that's just one exhibit We also have this one, this flyer that we show to our guests as well. You can pause and read. And in fact, it carries the testimony of that coworker that I mentioned that has 6 hours a day and oftentimes does not have a 5-day work week, because there are other colleagues of her that do the same job that need a good amount of hours, and there are only so many hours to go around before one person is left with far less than the first person that's higher in seniority. Every department has their own seniority rules, but my colleague Teresa says, I am striking because I don't get enough hours and I don't make enough money. I don't have a full 8 hours, only 6. This isn't livable within Seattle. I just want to be able to live in the city I work in. I take the metro from Kent every day because I cannot afford to fix my car. There's one Instagram reel that I just so happened to have stumbled upon just today, but I would like to show it to you before ending this video because it's been too long already, and I'm well aware that most of us don't have the attention span to listen to the entire thing. So we're gonna watch this one together. If anyone out there doubts that we're worth the increase that we're asking for, we're gonna watch this.
Cashiers a living wage, all of a sudden milk's going to be like $40 a gallon, but that's not true, and Costco has proved it. So there's this guy, Tony Barzar, that lives in Arizona. He's worked for Costco as a cashier for 40 years. So to suggest that he's unskilled labor, it's bullshit. Long-time laborers like that, they are efficiency machines. Like, they know the system, they know the process, they know how to check people out, they know how to train new hires, which is really important. I know when I was in business, one of the biggest costs you have is if you have turnover. You've got these vacancies, your customers aren't being treated as well. What's the value of that? A lot more than $15 an hour. Whereas if you have somebody that likes their job, somebody who stays there for 40 years because they like their job, they're going to give better service to your customers. That's worth a hell of a lot more than the $15 an hour you may save by underpaying those people. This guy, when he was being interviewed, he said his copay for medical visits is $15. I can tell you that's a tiny fraction of my copay when I go to the doctor. But what does that mean? That means he's not afraid to go to a doctor visit. He doesn't think he's going to have to mortgage his house to go to the doctor. So he's going to stay healthier. He's going to stay on top of his health, which means he's going to miss less days from work. And guess how much this guy makes as a cashier? $33 an hour. But milk is not $40 a gallon at Costco.
I make $30 an hour.
Because Costco also
Someone
has a
at
401k matching
Costco
program.
makes
So when he
more
saves,
than I do.
Costco matches it. And consequently, this guy who has been a cashier all of his
We
life
do a lot
owns his own
as
home and has $1 million in the
associates.
bank.
We
I know I sound like
carry
an ad, but I
heavy
am not being
luggage.
paid. I wish I was.
We
I'm
do
just
have a
saying
lot
that
of
corporations
cruise
can be
travelers
run
who
responsibly.
do store
You can
their
have corporate
luggage
ethics.
on their behalf, and we
as
don't
people
charge for
need
that.
to hold companies responsible for corporate ethics. We need to reward companies that show good corporate ethics.
Yeah, and
Go to Costco instead of Sam's. There's this whole myth that if you
Based on what this lady has said, we're asking for,
or corporate ethics, we need to reward companies.
we're asking for better corporate ethics. We're asking for Hilton to do the right thing. We're asking for hotel ownership to do the right thing. And we're asking for support. It's been going on long enough, and we need them to come to us with an offer that we cannot refuse, so we can go back and do what we do best, so we can defend the title of the crown jewel that our hotel management has informed us in one of their emails to all employees, so that way we can have the life that we want. Because not every front desk associate is going to be in management. Not every front desk associate is going to go up to bigger, better things. A lot of us are completely okay and comfortable with being a front desk associate. The people that we meet, the stories that we learn, the experience that we exchange, the help that we provide, it's everything to us, and we would like to keep doing that. I do hope that this message has reached some people out there who thought that we're not worth it. But the truth is, we are. We prove it day in and day out. And I want for more people out there to see it, to see that. Thank you for watching, and I do hope that the next update will come sooner. And I do hope that I will be a little bit happier and less anxious about recording, because I had some other things I wanted to share as well. But the truth is, as soon as I press record, a lot of it just goes blank. For those who understand, they'll understand, and if you do understand, please let me know, because I can only assume so much. It's one thing to believe, and it's something else to actually see with your own eyes. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.